Hello, it is Mark. Welcome to Whiskey in the Big Thicket. Today it is a nice warm day here. I know my friends up north are suffering in their below freezing temperatures where it is 82 degrees here. So today I have Kentucky Owl. This is the Kentucky Owl Rye Whiskey, 11 years old, Bayou Mardi Gras XO Casks. So this was requested by Jose Campos. So I was going to go ahead and do this. I thank you, Jose, for the request. This is the second request, only the second request I've had to do one. So I wanted to make sure I did it. I had to run back and retrace my steps. I remember I had seen it just a few days after, or before he had requested it, and I wasn't remembering where. And so it took me a few days. I had to drive all the way back into Houston to get it. So, I've never ever had Kentucky Owl before, so I don't know what to expect at all. It is a rye whiskey. This is, let's see, what can I say? So yeah, I got my Mardi Gras beads on here. I got my purple and green going for Mardi Gras, which again ended about a week ago here. So let me go ahead and pour this. And Kentucky Owl was originally established in 1879. Ooh, that is a heavy pour. So, by a local pharmacist, Charles Mortimer Dedman. He and his new bride received a large parcel of land on the bank of the Kentucky River as a wedding gift from his adopted father, a town judge. After running it by his wife, he decided to build the C.M. Dedman Distillery. For decades, it produced the Wiseman's Bourbon under the Distilled Spirits Plant designation, number 16. One of Kentucky's original distilleries as part of the booming industry, operating until Prohibition became law in 1916. At the point, the government seized some 250,000 gallons of Kentucky Owl, taking it away for safekeeping. And mysteriously, it caught fire and burned. Now, whether the government burned that or the mob burned that to try to eliminate competition, I think there's some speculation about all that, but that is ultimately what happened with that. And so the distillery closed in 2014. The great-great-grandson of the original distiller released the first whiskey in about 100 years. So this is a 11-year-old Kentucky straight rye whiskey, limited edition, collaborated blended rye, finished for 1 year in Bayou Mardi Gras XO Cask. 11-year-old Kentucky straight whiskey, the pride of Louisiana. That's what that says. So, okay. Anyway, I'm kind of excited about this. I like rye whiskey. This was pretty expensive bottle of whiskey, but hey, if someone asked me to do it, I'm doing it. So let me show it to you in the bottle. And here is the cask. So yeah, again, I've never had Kentucky Owl before. I never had the bourbon. I didn't even know they made a rye. I thought all they made was bourbon. So this was a new experience for me. So thank you, Jose. So, established in 1879. Kind of, I guess they were established in 1879, but the Wiseman's Rye, Kentucky, yeah, that's their big line now, is the Wiseman. I've not had any of that either. So Kentucky Owl, Kentucky straight rye whiskey, aged 11 years, limited edition. In celebration of the spirit of Mardi Gras, the pride of Louisiana, this expression of Kentucky Owl straight rye whiskey has been gently aged for 11 years before sleeping a further year in a selection of rare bourbon XO casks to create and mature in a unique rye whiskey of outstanding quality and flavor. Distilled in Kentucky, bottled in Kentucky bottled by Kentucky Owl LLC, La Casse, Louisiana. LACASSINE, Louisiana. So how do you bottle it? Okay, whatever. maybe they distilled it in Louisiana and shipped it to, distilled it in Kentucky and shipped it to Louisiana, I guess. I don't know. Anyway, there's a lot on this box. Kind of a cool box. I love that green and purple. I got my green and purple on for Mardi Gras. We do have Mardi Gras celebrations here. Galveston, I guess, is well, we actually have one closer than that, but Galveston's probably the biggest one. Been to Mardi Gras in New Orleans. I will never go again. So, in celebration, yeah, that's the same thing. Yeah, it's kind of weird that the sides are basically two just doubled. So the master blender is John Rhea in Kentucky, and the master blender, well, there are two master blenders, Reniel Vincente, actually Vincente, I don't know. You think I would know that as close as I am to Louisiana? I mean, literally like 30 miles, well, maybe a little more, but okay. So, all right. Can't find any other information. I didn't see anything else online about this. They have, I think it's already kind of passed because Mardi Gras was a week ago. But I think a St. Patrick's Day is about to come out, or maybe it has already come out. Haven't seen that yet, but matter of fact, I was at Smith Street in Houston and they didn't have it yet. Or maybe they said they hadn't already sold out, but they still had like 3 more bottles of this. This is a very expensive bottle, but this is about the most expensive bottle of rye I've ever bought. I want to say maybe there was a bottle of barrel I bought that was maybe about the same price. I don't know. I can't remember. So anyway, what do we get here? I get cherries. That's kind of the predominant nose I get. I get that rye mint. I get honey. There's a darker note in there, like a dark chocolate. Ooh, this is really delicious smelling. This is not a predominant, this is well balanced. I'm getting the chocolate, I'm getting the spice of like chocolate and nuts and such, but I'm also getting the sweetness of like cherries and honey caramel. This is very complex. This is the most complex rye I think I've ever had on the nose. Getting that rye spice, but not overpowering. Again, those nuts are coming through. Mint, honey, vanilla. And I don't know the mash bill in this. Nothing. I couldn't find it. Almost like a creamy. What is that? What is that? Like a vanilla cream, like the cream in a donut. Getting some that rye spice definitely comes through. The mint, the nuts, some cherries, dark chocolate, caramel. This is really well balanced. Cherries are coming through more now. Vanilla, that vanilla cream, like the cream inside a donut. Ooh, is that white cream or yellow cream? I'm gonna go with yellow cream, like a eclair, like the yellow cream, not so much the white icing kind of cream. This is like the yellow cream in a donut. Okay, so, take a donut, fill it with the yellow cream, like an eclair almost, with that chocolate topping on top of it, and then sprinkle nuts on top of it. That is what that smells like. That is 100% what that smells like. I get the rye spice, but it doesn't. It reminds me of an eclair with nuts on top of it. Yeah, the rye spice there, but that's not what this reminds me of. Oh, this smells great. The more I nose this, the more chocolate I get. That was a heavy pour, a heavy sip. Okay. Spicy. Cinnamon. Gosh, sweet. Oh, wow. This is the sweetest rye I think I've ever had. Very sweet. But spicy too, but the rye spice, but creamy. Some chocolate. I get like a bready note. There's nothing overpowering. This is very well balanced. This is like the best. Wow, this is a really, really good. I don't. And it's the finish. The longer it goes, the better it gets. It's like, okay, it finishes like it noses, but the palate is a little different. It finishes with this donut with nuts and chocolate on top of it, filled with yellow cream, like an eclair. But the palate is more this spicy, rye spicy, oaky, just very well balanced. I wouldn't say this changed much at all. Not at all. It's the same. Still smells like the donut. The spice hasn't really changed. Maybe a little sweeter. That would be my only thing on that. So. Okay, so yeah, rye spice, definitely got rye spice, but it's still sweet and spicy. Not bready, with like, there's not much fruit in there. The cherries are on the nose, but that doesn't really transfer into the palate. Spicy, sweet, bready. This is an eclair. This is an eclair with nuts on top of it. Certainly with the nose and the finish. Palate's kind of a little bit more spicy. I don't get as much chocolate on the palate as I do on the nose and the finish. I guess it becomes more of a gosh, ooh, sweet. It's really sweet. Man, this is fantastic. Okay, so again, this was a pretty expensive bottle. So I think everybody's price point is different. So for me, I love having this on my shelf. There's no question. Would I keep it on my shelf? It's really a limited edition, so it's kind of a moot point. But, you know, I would. It's absolutely delicious. Absolutely delicious. I guess if I was going to say there's a fruit in here, it's cherries and grapes. I get more grapes on the palate. I get more cherries on the nose. I'm gonna go. That's what I'm getting. Grapes for the fruit. Wow, this is fantastic. This and again, I'm giving this a 9 out of 10. This is maybe the best dry I've ever had. So, thank you, Jose, and thank you, Jose, for the request, and we will see you next time.